Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel, Movie Recap. Today we are going to explain a comedy movie from 1997 titled, Liar Liar. Let's explore the life of a man who always lies, suddenly cannot tell a single lie. Spoiler ahead, watch out. Movie begins in an elementary school where a teacher asks her students about their dad's profession. One said his dad was a doctor, and another mentioned that his dad drove a truck. When it was Max's turn, he bravely said his dad was a liar. After a few hours, Max was waiting for his dad, Fletcher, to arrive. He was supposed to come at 4 p.m., but it was already 6, and there was no sign of him. Even Max's mom, Audrey, had grown tired of his behavior. Fletcher arrives late and makes excuses, claiming he was in an important meeting. Fletcher and Audrey had divorced a few months ago, and Audrey was now dating this guy named Jerry. Fletcher only visited the family to spend time with his son. Fletcher is a lawyer, and Fletcher's lying habit extends to his personal life, making even simple things dramatic. Currently, Fletcher has brought his son, Max, on the pretense of taking him to a wrestling match. But instead, he took Max to his workplace. As Fletcher made his way to his office, he showered his colleagues with fake compliments along the way. But then, his secretary Greta secretly informed him that tomorrow was his son's birthday, handed him a package, and assured him that she had already taken care of Max's present. At midnight, Fletcher gave his son the present. But despite the attractive gift, Max was unhappy because his dad didn't have time to play with him. In response, Fletcher promises to come to his birthday party. The next morning, a new client named Samantha arrived at Fletcher's law firm. She was revealed to be a gold digger seeking a divorce and 50% of her husband's wealth. However, Samantha had an affair, making it nearly impossible to win the case. But Fletcher, with his cunning lies, assured Samantha that she could win and even suggested fighting for custody of her children. He claimed that winning custody would lead to an even bigger settlement. Samantha liked the idea and agreed right away. After the meeting ended, impressed Miranda forcefully approached Fletcher and invited him to her house that night, promising to have the promotion papers ready. The movie then jumps to Max's birthday party. Everyone seemed to be having a good time, except Max. He was upset because his father hadn't shown up. Audrey, upon learning this, immediately called Fletcher and explained how much their son missed him. However, he was in the middle of being intimate with his boss, as usual. As it was time to blow out the birthday candles, Max made an unexpected wish. He was tired of his dad's lies, so he wished for God to make sure that Fletcher could never lie again. Though the innocent boy said it out of superstitious hope, God actually listened and granted his wish. The next morning, when Fletcher woke up with Miranda, he surprisingly couldn't stop himself from insulting her. This angered Miranda, and she kicked him out of the house. Later, he offends a lady in the elevator with an inappropriate comment. In court, Fletcher defended Samantha, but Richard's lawyer revealed incriminating evidence. Despite his efforts to argue, Fletcher failed miserably. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't say what he wanted to say. During the break, he hurried back to his office to gather himself. Fletcher was confused about what was happening to him. Every time he tried to create a lie, he ended up blurting out his inner thoughts. After a while, Fletcher remembered that he had promised to pick up Max from school. He quickly called Audrey and told her he was busy with work. As expected, she already knew he wouldn't come. She then asked about his activities the previous night, and despite Fletcher's best efforts to lie, he ended up revealing that he was intimate with his boss. He then breaks the telephone and starts screaming. Max sadly asks his mom if he's not a good boy because his dad, Fletcher, doesn't pay him any attention. He also shares that he made a wish for his dad to only tell the truth. Audrey comforts him, saying his dad is just busy and will come around. Fletcher repairs his broken telephone and calls Audrey again, frantic about what's happening to him. Audrey, fed up with Fletcher's repeated disappointments, reveals that she's moving to Boston with her boyfriend, and Max, worried, Fletcher rushes to Audrey's home but gets pulled over for speeding. His attempts to lie only worsen the situation, and he ends up having to pay $6 billion in fines. Desperate, he calls Audrey for help. When she arrives, Fletcher pleads for her to stay, realizing that Max is the only good thing he has. Audrey becomes emotional but warns him that if he doesn't visit Max in the evening, she'll leave for Boston. She also shares Max's wish for his father to stop lying, which shocks Fletcher and makes him understand why everything is happening. Without wasting time, Fletcher goes to his son's school and takes him out of class. He buys a cake and asks Max to reverse his wish from yesterday. Max complies, but it doesn't work. Max explains that he made the wish sincerely to stop his dad from lying. Frustrated, Fletcher confides in his assistant Greta about everything that happened. Fletcher's problems continue to grow as Miranda overhears his conversation and learns about his condition. She takes him to a meeting with higher-ups, expecting him to make fun of them. To her surprise, Fletcher targets the CEO. The CEO finds the joke funny and thanks Fletcher for making his day. In court, the prosecution resumes, and Richard's lawyer plays a disturbing audio recording of Samantha's affair. Fletcher tries his usual tactics but fails. He requests a washroom break and gets a strange idea. He beats himself up and returns to the courtroom looking battered. When asked if he can continue, Fletcher truthfully says yes, impressing the judge, who applauds his determination. As a reward, the judge adjourns the prosecution for 15 minutes. During the break, Fletcher calls his son and promises to meet him tonight. Feeling energized, Fletcher runs into Samantha and her lover, Kenneth. They decide to use Kenneth as a witness. When the prosecution resumes, Fletcher calls Kenneth, but he asks irrelevant questions. Finally, Kenneth bursts out and confesses to sleeping with Samantha. The courtroom is stunned, and the judge declares the case in Richard's favor. As Fletcher goes to his seat and puts his head down, his eyes catch the attention of the document lists all of Samantha's personal details. Fletcher, being a talented lawyer, discovers Samantha's true age and exposes Richard for marrying a minor. Since a minor cannot sign legal documents, including a prenuptial agreement, Richard is in the wrong. The revelation shocks everyone, including the judge, who reverses the decision. Samantha wins the case, but she doesn't stop there. She demands custody of their children, and the judge grants her request, causing Richard to lose 75% of his wealth. Richard pleads for his children, but the decision remains unchanged. Fletcher witnesses this and finally understands the importance of being a parent. Fletcher also tries to plead with the judge to return Richard's kids to him. He claims he broke the entire system and told a lot of lies. Unfortunately, the judge finds this offensive and Fletcher is taken into custody. In the police station, Fletcher calls Audrey to bail him out, but Audrey refuses and reveals they're heading to the airport. However, Greta comes to his rescue and urges him to go after his son. Fletcher rushes to the airport but arrives after the passengers have boarded. Determined, he hijacks a mobile staircase and throws his shoe at the plane, causing it to abort takeoff. But Fletcher loses his balance and ends up crashing later, as he is being stretchered off. Max greets him happily. They had a heartfelt conversation, and Fletcher promised to always be there for his son. A year later, Audrey and Fletcher celebrate Max's 9th birthday together. Just like in the previous instance, Max closes his eyes and asks for a wish, and when he opens them, he sees his parents making out. Fletcher jokingly asks if he wished for them to be together, but Max replies that he just wanted a pair of rollerblades. They all laugh, and the movie ends happily. Thank you for watching. Do like, comment, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon.